the difference in Thursday night's win when they went 15 of 18 from the line, including Aisha Brown's outstanding 10 of 10.
Well, we must always precede any tip-off with a list of who's not here. The Tritons had 5 unavailable players for Thursday night as they win the tip. And this afternoon, Parker Montgomery, Katie Springs, Jaisha Gamble will miss their second straight game. And there is a tweak to the starting lineup for the Tritons as Sydney Brown misses the opening shot. We're going to see Julia Makabuhai off the bench for the first time this season. And you look at Davis's starting lineup, they're going to be without their starting point guard, Sydney Burns. So that means that for the second straight game to open up Big West Conference play, the opponent in this building will not have their starting point guard. On Thursday, UC Riverside was without Jada Holland.
Yeah, and that certainly can have an effect on how you run your offense. Somebody who's usually the facilitator of the offense, the point guard.
Brianna Claros gets the start, and Sydney Brown 0 for 2 to begin the proceedings. Got her own offensive rebound. Cangelosi did not look good out of her hands, and Emily making her second start of the year misfires.
And they're going to have to make their outside shots. With the size of UC Davis, it's going to be difficult to get points inside today.
Also not here for Davis, Michaela Sanders isn't expected to play. The Aggies do get Sage Stobart back, one of their starters. So that's big for them. So we'll see if missing a point guard for the second consecutive game and missing a starting point guard kind of evens the playing field for the Tritons.
Well, and then going back to the Tritons and Julia Makabuhai not in the starting lineup. Interesting if that might be a strategy. She is on a minutes count game by game. Take that energy and get it off the bench.
8 to shoot. Madison Baxter hit a couple of big threes, throws it inside to Sydney Brown. Brown goes to work inside and scores the bucket on Sierra Hall, who's a tremendous player.
And did a nice job walling her off there, and then the turnaround layup.
Sydney Brown the other night, 3 of 4 on threes at 17 points, 6 rebounds against Riverside. And in the final 2 minutes, she had 2 huge buckets and grabs a rebound there. Up the floor it goes to Cangelosi.
Really good defense by UC San Diego in the early going.
This Davis team, who's in gray, is much, much bigger. You pointed that out on Thursday's broadcast against Riverside, that the giant trees were coming in here for a Saturday afternoon tilt.
Well, in this lineup for them,
as Claros misses off the front of the rim,
they have 2 of the 3 tallest players in program history on this roster.
Wow. Here's a drive and an easy look there by Kayla Conrad, but she can't finish at the rim. Almost 3 minutes in, and the team picked by both the media and by the coaches to win it is down 5-0. They haven't had a bucket yet. Claros, the big bucket there.
Jennifer Gross shouting out a play this time down the floor, trying to get him going.
Claros rewards Heidi for starting her. Aisha Brown had that big double-double, got to that one. And it goes out of bounds, and it will be UC San Diego basketball. No, it'll be Davis basketball.
Yeah, last touch by Cangelosi.
Aggies have won the last 5 straight Big West regular season championships. And as we mentioned, they are picked to win the conference. The coaches 9 first-place votes. The media had 6 first-place votes. And I got to admit, one of my first-place votes actually went to Long Beach State, so I'm in that media there. I had a chance to pick it. So far through 2 games, I'm right. May not be at the end of the year. And that is Sierra Hall missing. She averages 12.5 points, 8 rebounds a game.
You sound like me at the Las Vegas Sportsbook. Oh, so far I'm good.
It doesn't pay out until the very end, does it?
No, unfortunately not.
Davis 0 for 5 from the field to begin things, and 0 for 3 from beyond the arc. Come in with a record of 6-5, but 0-1 in the Big West. They got hammered on Thursday night at Irvine, but they were down a couple of players, including their starting point guard. And here's a whistle, and a foul will be called. Looks like they're going to get Cangelosi.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a lot of beating and banging going on in the early going here. UC Davis trying to establish some physicality against the Tritons.
That's going to be the first on Cangelosi. She goes to Heidi Vanderveer's bench. And the inbound comes to Lena Svanholm. She's 6'6" out of Denmark, a Colorado State transfer. Good pass back door and a push. And Bria Shine didn't really have a good angle, but got bailed out there on the push.
And you mentioned Svanholm. She's the second tallest player in program history. I mean, think about it. At least during the time we've covered the Tritons, it was Obu Fagay at 6'4" was the tallest we had seen.
And if you were not with us on Thursday, we were able to announce that Alex Obu Fagay, no longer with the program, no longer a student at UC San Diego. And I looked at the conference standings and also what goes on in the conference as far as statistics are concerned. And she was second in the Big West in blocks, second in rebounds, rather, and first in block shots. So,
well, as a team, they were averaging 6 blocks a game, and that was largely due to her defense.
Aisha Brown takes it to the hole and misses. It got rebounded by Shine, and in transition, here comes Davis.
But you've still got some good defenders down low in Aisha and Sydney Brown.
Campbell Gray throws it inside to Svanholm, sends it back out to Gray, who runs the baseline. Plenty of time to shoot. Off the drive, Evan Turner. Turner backing in, double team. They forced her to take a really tough two there.
Yeah, that got the team fired up. The defense is on point to start this game.
And Sydney Brown, and can they keep it? Let's see, it goes back to Brown, gets it out to Claros. Davis doesn't have a field goal yet, almost 5 minutes into this opening quarter. And on the drive, there is Sydney Brown, and she draws contact. Fouled there by Svanholm.
That's just the way you draw it up, right? I mean, if you're not going to make it, get to the free throw line and make them pay. Get some of these bigs into some foul trouble as Sage Sobart comes into the game.
That replaces Svanholm, who just picked up the personal foul. That's going to be her first.
I said Stobart, excuse me.
And here's Sydney Brown. Makes the first to stretch the lead out to 5.
And we talked about this in the keys, right, too, the importance of making your free throws. You know, they missed just 3 free throws in that entire game, and what did they win by? 3.
Yeah, Aisha Brown was pretty spectacular. 10 for 10 from the free throw line, and that impressive double-double for the sophomore. 19 points,
16.
Yep, both career highs.
And a large number of those rebounds coming in that third quarter, recall. She had, 10 in the third quarter?
Yep. And slipping and getting called for a travel is Bria Shine. And with this kind of a start here, almost 5 minutes in, you can rest Julia Makabuhai even further.
Yeah, while they're struggling, you really want to build up some equity here for when UC Davis goes on their run, because you know it's coming.
I still see Julia, though, behind the curtain there, and she's stretching out. She looked like the bionic woman before the ball game.
Yeah, with all the wraps.
Everything they had attached to her, all the electrical stuff. Aisha Brown takes a 3 and banks it in.
She'll take it. She'll take it.
A 10-1 start for the Tritons.
She kind of shook her head like she was embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed. It counts.
That's her first bucket of the game. 4.5 in, a 9-point lead for UC San Diego. Picked to finish 8th in the Big West this year after going 6-9 a year ago. Off the drive, losing the handle, but getting it back is Sage Stobart. Tritons get the rebound, and on the outlet it goes to Aisha Brown. Muscles it up, and a 12-1 start, and timeout, UC Davis. Jennifer, 6 minutes in. Davis hasn't made a field goal. They're 0 for 7 from the floor to start things for the Big West Conference favorites, and it's what can Brown do for you, huh? I mean, the numbers have been unbelievable in the early going.
Aisha Brown, Sydney Brown, a combined 9 points, 6 rebounds before that timeout.
So Jennifer Gross in her 11th season, been coach of the year almost every single year since we've been here.
Well, good things come in 5 for UC Davis. They've won the conference 5 years in a row. She's been coach of the year 5 years in a row, and last May she just signed a new 5-year deal to stay with UC Davis.
Congratulations. He was a longtime assistant at Davis. You'd love to see that, get rewarded to get the head coaching job and then pay it off for your school. A whole lot of nothing so far for Davis. Makabuhai in for the first time here in this ball game, and Aisha Brown unleashed a 3 and missed it. started to talk about Makabuhai looking like the bionic woman before the game. They had the electrotherapy for a chronic knee, and count it, inside the pass went. A basket and a foul, and that is Sage Stobart, who didn't play on Thursday against Irvine, her first game back. And there you look at Julia Makabuhai, who they're going to limit to likely about 20 minutes per game, and they bought themselves some time in this one by getting out to a 12-1 advantage.
Yeah, I would imagine, barring any foul trouble, that she'll finish out this quarter and then go back to the bench for the start of the second.
So 6 minutes and 34 seconds is what it took for Davis to make their first field goal of this game. They trail at 12-4. And Brown misses.
Well, Stobart having an effect on both ends of the floor there, that time with the help defense.
Here's a straightaway three. It's good. And all of a sudden, here come the Aggies as Kayla Conrad, who scores 9 a game, buries the three.
And Stobart's been a problem. She set the screen for that open look.
They've run off 6 in a row in the first 34 seconds coming out of that timeout. Ula Chamberlain gets the screen, shoots off of it, and hits a big three to stretch the lead back out to 8.
Well, you remember she gave them some good production off the bench in the first half on Thursday as well, scoring 7 points in 5 minutes.
That ends the 6-0 run. Here's Stobart out of North Vancouver, British Columbia, 7.7 rebounds a game. They get it inside the laser beam off the window by Sierra Hall, who's 9th in the Big West in scoring at 12.5 a game. He's also 5th in rebounding at 8.1 and 4th in assists, an outstanding player. And in this first quarter, the Tritons limiting her right now to just that one made field goal. She'll get hot. And Ula Chamberlain, who had 9 points against Riverside on 4 of 9 shooting on Thursday. Weber State transfer again reestablishes that 8-point lead for the Tritons.
Yeah, showing the 3-point range and then the mid-range jumper that time down.
At 3, missed, flanked off the right of the rim by Campbell Gray, a redshirt sophomore from Tigard, Oregon. And off the missed shot by Chamberlain, Mazatlan Harris had the rebound, kept her feet in bounds. Transition 3 on the way, no good by Sierra Hall.
Well, that last miss by Chamberlain, I think they're going to credit Stobart with a rejection there on that attempted layup. Coming over with the help defense again.
That block would be the first of the game for either side. Here's Chamberlain, final minute of this opening quarter. Sydney Brown pulls the trigger on a 3, planked off the back of the rim and rebounded by Gray.
I mean, she got off to a slow start on Thursday, but man, she finished red hot too before that game was over.
They throw it in the low post, kick out by Stobart, and the 3 misses.
The rebounding's been excellent for UC San Diego.
And on the drive, Madison Baxter connects on the transition bucket.
That's really the strength of the Tritons, is having several players that are skilled at driving that ball to the hoop.
10-point advantage here in the final 20 seconds. The shot clock is off, so Davis can play for the final shot of this opening quarter. They're shooting 21% in the opening quarter. Gray throws it inside, quick double, kick out, left wing 3 in the corner, missed by Hall. Makabuhai will count if it goes, and it does not. It bounces into the stands. And what a terrific opening quarter for the team picked to finish 8th.
Fans, follow UC San Diego Athletics on social media. Follow UCSD Tritons on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Go behind the scenes with the Tritons in each of their 23 sports teams.
Well, after one quarter, UC San Diego leads UC Davis by 10 in what is the second Big West Conference game for both these teams. The Aggies just 3 of 15 in that opening quarter shooting the basketball, and then they come out to start the second. And Marley Longy, a freshman from Redwood City, Sticks the opening 3 here.
After they made just one in that first quarter, 1 of 8. So don't want to see them start getting hot there.
Davis went the first 6:34 to start this game without a made field goal. They're playing without their starting point guard in Sydney Burns. And the Tritons turn it over for the first time in this game. So they went the entire first quarter without a miscue.
One other strength in that first quarter, Sydney Brown is a bucket for UC Davis. Sydney Brown with 6 rebounds in that first quarter.
Yeah, Sage Stobart with the bucket there. I was going to say the trio of Brown, Squared, and Chamberlain. Great opening quarter. 5 apiece for Aisha and Ula Chamberlain, and then 4 with those 6 rebounds for Sydney Brown. Izzy Forsythe in to start this second quarter. Aisha Brown will come in as that ball is out of bounds. It's going to stick with the Tritons.
Tritons got a break there. It was good hustle by Longy, but she touched it just as it was going out of bounds as you take a look at the 11th year head coach Jennifer Gross on the Davis sideline.
5-point advantage. It was an 11-point lead. 6:34 in for the Tritons. Remember, it was 12-1. And then a 6-0 run got Davis right back in it. Cangelosi unleashes a 3 right wing and missed it. Rebounded by Hall. She'll get 8 of those a game. Sierra streaks down the floor and leaves it for Conrad. And a foul away from the ball. They're going to get Aisha Brown. She's trying to guard Sage Stobart, who is 6'3". And Aisha's 6'2", but I mean, Sydney, I'm not sure if it's the hair, but looks a lot taller than Aisha, who goes to the bench.
Yeah, she does, but it could be that bun on top there. It gives her an extra inch.
They throw it into the post. Great no-look pass by Hall. Nearly turned it over. They get it back. Aisha Brown goes to the bench with 2 personal fouls. We'll keep our eye on that. She leaves 2 personals. Tritons with a 5-point advantage. They've never trailed. Off the dribble, Conrad. Kick to the corner, elevating for a 3. Hitting the side of the backboard was Long Yi. They got an offensive rebound, but a shot clock violation as Stobart couldn't get it off in time.
You know, something that's not showing up in the box score is the defense of Madison Baxter. She is doing a fantastic job on anybody that she's guarding right now.
Yeah, whether it's Hall, and again, Hall could be the player of the year when it's all set in the conference, has just 2 points on 1 of 5 shooting. Claros, the deep 2.
Well, Sydney Brown flashing at the top of the key, drew the defense's eyes, and Claros took advantage.
3 for Claros in a rare start.
Looks like they're going to just give her a 2 there.
Oh, they give her the 2, but 3 points total. Beg your pardon. She was scoreless against Riverside. That's out of bounds, and Davis turns it over for a 3rd time.
Tritons were ready today. You can just see it out of the gate. Defensively, this may be one of their better performances so far this season.
Claros actually has 5 after hitting that deep 2. So they updated the scoreboard. Here's Sydney Brown off the dribble and lost the handle on it. It was last touched by Davis.
Stobart, again, a problem anytime you go in the lane. Very active hands.
7-point advantage for the Tritons, who have led throughout. Here's a 3 by Sydney Brown. Got a good look. Doesn't really miss from that spot after getting that good of a look. They throw it inside. It goes into Stobart, and she bangs it off the window for 2.
Especially when she gets that pass up high, going to be difficult to defend that when she can just keep it up there with that 6'3" frame.
Right at her average of 7 points, the redshirt junior from Denmark, a Colorado State transfer. She's getting her master's in pharmaceutical chemistry. Woo. Cangelosi, a wing 3.
Gotta love when you're getting offense from Cangelosi combined with all the other dirty work that she does for this Triton team.
Just her 2nd start of the year. That is her first points of the game. She had just 1 against Riverside and another turnover for Davis. That's their 4th. Izzy Forsythe out, and in comes Ula Chamberlain, who the other day I didn't realize on the broadcast I called her Uma Thurman. Somebody must have been talking in my ear and I lost concentration. But here's the reason why I did that, because Uma Thurman was in the producers, right? And her character was Ula. And so that's why I messed that up. See, if I just wasn't so into Broadway shows.
I thought it was maybe her dance moves.
Well, that too. I have no idea. I didn't even realize I did it until I was watching it. Kick out. Brown looking for the assist. Baxter missed the three. In transition, here comes Conrad. Conrad over the top. Hall kicks it back out for Longyi.
They're moving the ball, but they're a little out of control doing so.
Looks like a matchup zone here. Hall unleashes one. Missed from 16 feet. Angelosi with a rebound. When play is dead, Bria Shine checks in for the second time for Davis. 8-point advantage. High post it goes to Sydney Brown. Baxter around that pick. Back out to Brown. She's wide open as a result and can't get it to go.
Twice now down the floor, they've had a great setup for an open three. Just haven't been able to knock the last couple down.
Yeah, that'll start to fall. They are 4 of 12 shooting threes here in the early going. We're not even halfway home in the second quarter, so they have really turned it loose from beyond the arc here. Again, it's two teams that are really good when it comes to shooting threes, and UC San Diego at defending threes, as you talked about. And there's a foul between the circles. And that takes us to a break. 4:59 to go, quarter number 2. Tritons continue to lead. Their lead over the Big West favorites is 8 percentage at 33.5 from beyond the arc. Both teams are tied for the conference lead in threes made a game with almost 8. But here's where they differ, right? The Tritons, the ability to defend that 3. They lead the Big West at defending the 3. Opponents shoot 23% from beyond the arc against the Tritons defense, and Davis is shooting just 18% from beyond the arc. That shot got blocked there. And so it's a turnover for UC San Diego, just their second of the game.
Yeah, it's definitely a strength against strength when you talk about UC Davis's offense shooting threes and the Tritons defending it. And so far, we've seen that play out.
Yeah, something's got to give. Speaking of threes, there's one. A second one here in this second quarter that goes down. This time it's Evan Turner, sophomore from Fontana, with the bucket. I remember doing her at a Wanda State Championship game not too long ago. Certainly remember the name. Off the drive, and what an excellent drive by Sydney Brown. Great take there for the bucket.
Yeah, just got right into the chest of Stobart, not allowing her to reject that shot.
Sydney has a half dozen on 2 of 8 shooting, and a push by Sydney Brown. A little shove there on Sage Stobart.
So Stobart, by the way, her cousin, remember Robert Sacre?
I do,
for the
yeah.
LA Lakers. That's her cousin.
He was a Gonzaga guy, right?
Yes, he was.
One of the bigs for Gonzaga in the early days when I had him a lot for the WCC package. Another 3. That's their 3rd triple of this second quarter, and here they come. This time it's Kayla Conrad.
Their second or their 3rd, but their 2nd in a row.
Yep.
That time down the floor.
4-point game now. Tritons led by as many as 11 at the 4:12 mark in the opening quarter. And Sydney Brown is blocked, but it goes off of Sierra Hall out of bounds. So possession sticks with the Tritons, 14 to shoot.
That was tremendous by Hall. She almost caused the turnover there, trying to knock it off of Sydney Brown, but she stepped out of bounds.
All of a sudden, the 3-point defense now. The Tritons, we were telling you, are holding Davis to 18% coming out of that break. Davis is now shooting 31%, which is pretty close to their average that we spoke of. That leads the Big West.
And a long sit down for Aisha Brown with those 2 fouls.
And another block, by Sage Stobart. That's the 4th block of the game for Davis.
Content to slow it down and set up a good 3-point shot here.
Stobart gets it out to Turner. Turner puts it on the floor around Claros. Back out Stobart, got her defender in the air, drives and misses the lane. Got her own offensive rebound. A chance for 3 second chance points. All in and out. And the rebound right to Davis's Bria Shine, who puts in the bucket.
Yeah,
some
of those 50-50 balls now starting to go the Aggies' way, and that was one of them.
Here they come. They're down 2. When play is dead, Makabuhai back in, and Bridget Mullings for the first time. But an offensive foul is going to be called against UC San Diego.
Maybe, that's on Sydney Brown. That's her 2nd.
So both Browns, Sydney and Aisha, have 2 personal fouls apiece.
Easy call to make.
Good job by Evan Turner.
Yeah, to take that shot. That's not easy to do.
Now Davis can equalize or potentially take the lead for the first time here tonight. Here's Hall. Stobart. Little jab step there by Conrad.
Man, Baxter, great defense.
Yep. Still plenty of time to shoot. 10 to shoot now. Crossover dribble by Turner. Turner into the key. Kick corner for their first lead of the game. The 3 missed off the front of the rim by Stobart.
Let's go back to that sequence. Madison Baxter getting the ball out of her hands was the key to that stand.
With 1:51 to go, it now becomes a 4-point lead as Ula Chamberlain buries another badly needed field goal.
Giving them some great production off the bench for the second straight night.
Yeah, what a tremendous homestand for Ula. Had those 9 points against Riverside, the Weber State transfer. Chamberlain has 7 in this one. Hall throws it into Stobart, who gets it out on the wing. The 3 on the way by Conrad, no good. Offensive rebound. And on the second chance opportunity, it hit the bottom of the backboard, it looked like. Ooh. Oh, what a Mullings pick. Holy moly.
Oh, man, that was a hard shot. Hope she's okay.
Yep. Bridget Mullings just, completely hammered. Watch this. Oh, like a pulling guard. And that was Kayla Conrad from Valencia, California, the redshirt senior who took the big hit from the freshman Mullings.
That happened right in front of us. You could feel it from here, and you can see that Conrad worse for wear after that one.
Yep.
Hope she's able to come back.
Yep, she'll walk that one off. Take a seat in where the student section would normally be and regroup.
She was a 4-sport athlete in high school, including lacrosse, so she can take a shot.
That Makabuhai shot got partially blocked for the 5th block of the game. Leads to a transition opportunity here for Davis. Little jab step, head fake, floater is short. And Makabuhai has the rebound off the missed shot by Evan Turner.
They got numbers if they hurry.
Chamberlain, that got partially blocked too. Mullings is right there, trying to put it up over the trees. Another block. Cangelosi out to Baxter, spots up for the 3, and it's good. Madison Baxter.
Mullings with great hustle there to keep that ball alive, and then Madison Baxter able to just step right into that one.
If at first you don't succeed, try again. The Tritons offense marvelous there. The lead is 7. Difference between the shot clock and the game clock's a little bit over 3.5 seconds. Barring an offensive rebound, Triton should get this back here on the drive. Gray and a foul. Wow, Makabuhai will foul Campbell Gray.
Quick hands defensively, but got part of the body.
That came with 3 to go on the shot clock. 6.6 to go on the game clock, and it's going to send Campbell Gray here to the free throw line.
Gray out of Tigard High School in Oregon was a 2019 McDonald's All-American Game nominee, coming off of a season-ending leg injury last season.
Might be able to help her own cause, though. Neurobiology, physiology, and behavior is her major. I mean, some of these majors I'm having a hard time sounding out, too.
Yeah, you can't even pronounce them, let alone take the class, right?
Yeah, here's one here. Una declared. Oh, undeclared. Sorry. Yeah, I'm messing with you. All right, here's Baxter. Baxter to Makabuhai. Extra pass, Cangelosi, and it goes. Now, they're going to check this, but I think she got it off right in time.
She did too, yeah. Shot.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about illegal screens. If there was misdemeanor screen and there was a felony screen, that was a felony screen. That was a big one by Bridget Mullings. But that's, the nature of the game. All right, so the Tritons have an 8-point lead and the basketball to begin this third quarter of play. It's a Davis team that's playing without Sydney Burns, their starting point guard, for the second consecutive game. Michaela Sanders, who's big off their bench, will not play for the second straight game. They did get Sage Stobart back, who didn't play Thursday, and she's had an outstanding first half. Here's Aisha Brown with the 2 fouls, taken into the hole, and another block shot. However, they're going to get a chance at a second chance opportunity here, but the shot clock expires because none of those shots and any of those attempts wound up hitting the rim.
Yeah, and I think Sydney Brown was confused at first because the shot went up, but it never touched anything.
How about these blocks? I mean, you're talking 7 blocks already for Davis, and we're only in the opening 35 seconds of this third quarter.
Yeah, if you're going to get blocked 7 times and still be up by 8, that's quite an accomplishment.
And Davis is so big, they were blocking perimeter 3 attempts by the Tritons. Really stretching out that defense. Off the window, that didn't go. That shot by Marley Longye, the high schooler, a freshman out of high school out of Redwood City, California, Archbishop Mitty High School. If I try real hard and stay focused, I can do it.
Triton sticking with this matchup zone that was really effective in the second quarter.
Well, how do you break a zone? You get into the middle to Sierra Hall, and she misfires. Now Hall is one of the top players in the Big West Conference, but they've held her to 1 of 8 shooting to start things.
Yeah, and give a lot of that credit to Madison Baxter, who's been matched up on her defensively.
I mean, Hall, it bears repeating, 9th in the Big West in scoring, 5th in rebounding, 4th in assist, has been completely neutralized and has played more minutes than anybody out there in 21 minutes.
Well, UC Davis has stepped up their defense too, though. Triton's 2 straight turnovers,
which would only be their 2nd and 3rd of this game. 3-point miss, Claros with a rebound. And it's good to see Kayla Conrad back in after absorbing that big contact. Cangelosi, who had the 3 at the buzzer to make it an 8-point game, missed. No scoring so far to start the second half. On the drive after the outlet pass, Longye.
Good recovery there by Baxter.
Conrad inside to Stobart. Back out it goes to Conrad. Missed the 3, and Baxter has the long rebound.
Yeah, you're going to see a little bit of pressure now from UC Davis. They've seen it in the last couple of games now where the Tritons have had difficulty handling it. It was much better on Thursday night, though.
Davis, 4 of 18, 22% from beyond the arc. Tritons, 6 of 18. Davis as a team only shooting 26%. And again, the Tritons lead the Big West in field goal defense, holding opponents to 23%. We talked about what they do from beyond the arc. The long outlet pass here goes to Stobart. And they save possession, thrown back into Stobart, who got up over Aisha Brown. Great defense there by Aisha Brown.
It really was. I thought she got away with a foul on the previous miss, but then a good recovery to stop her from getting that second shot.
Much like Davis started off this contest, they are 0 for 6 to start this second half of play. What a difference it's been in quarters, too, right? I mean, they were so hot in that second quarter, and that's why they were able to get back in it. Nobody has scored for the first 3 minutes and 20 seconds of this third quarter.
No, it's an old NFC rivalry. It's playing in the mud.
Eagles, Cowboys in the mud.
Yeah, you named Cowboys 49ers.
Yep. Aisha Brown, that was a tough take right there with Lena Svanholm disrupting things. Colorado State transfer. And Gray just had an open look down the alley, runs right down and lays it in for our first points of the second half.
Nobody stopped the ball there. Just gave her a free lane to the basket.
4 for Gray, who's a redshirt sophomore from Oregon. Baxter, kick out. Aisha Brown sets up for a 3 and misses. Cangelosi almost got the offensive rebound, and it will be out of bounds off of the Tritons.
Some early emphasis in the second half, trying to get the ball in the hands of Aisha Brown, trying to get her back in a rhythm. We've seen how effective she can be when she's in that rhythm, but hasn't found it yet.
Ula Chamberlain back in. As my partner had mentioned, she led the Tritons in scoring with 7 first half points. High post, Sierra Hall. Hall, that 1 for 8 start, looking for an assist, and on the turnaround in the lane, Svanholm with a miss. And it's going to be Triton basketball.
Boy, yeah, that looked like it was going to be a bunny. They got it right to her in the paint where she wanted it and just shot it short.
We spoke of Davis beginning this second half 0 for 6. The Tritons have started the second half 0 for 6. They're looking for their first points, their first made field goal of this third quarter. And they zing the pass inside Cangelosi to Brown and a foul.
I think they're going to get Evan Turner on the help defense, and no, it looks like Svanholm going to get called for it, actually.
And for Svanholm, that's her second personal. It's only the first team foul for either side of the third quarter, so it'll be inbounded on shooting foul. Sydney Brown throws it into Aisha Brown, and nice defense by Hall, fronting one of the Tritons to get the steal. Left open on the left wing and burying a three is Evan Turner.
Well, that was pretty.
Evan Turner scores you 10.5 per game. Sophomore from Fontana, California, and that means the Tritons are going to have to spend a timeout.
Well, there are more than 200,000 living UC San Diego alumni worldwide. Triton alumni can stay connected 24/7 online through Tritons Connect. Learn more at tritonsconnect.com. And boy, Heidi Vanderveer was hot during that timeout as Julia Makabuhai scores. And it was really because of the defense, Steve, not stopping the ball one time down, and then the wide open three right before that timeout.
First points of the game for Makabuhai, who's coming off the bench in this game. And the first points of the second half for the Tritons. They go almost a full 5 minutes without getting any points to open the third quarter.
Well, we noted their energy at the beginning of the game defensively, and it was a step off in that third quarter, and I'm sure that was a big reason for that timeout.
Yeah, they started 0 for 6 from the floor before Makabuhai hit that shot. Empty possession, a 5-point game.
Yeah, to Davis's credit now, the Tritons, who turned it over only once in the first half, have now turned it over 5 times.
Davis has never led in this game. Hall with the dribble penetration, which opens up Svanholm in the corner for a three, and she buries it.
That looked familiar. That's a play UC San Diego likes to run as well.
2-point game. Big possession here for the Tritons. Have 2 points in the quarter. Cangelosi, the laser beam three. It's good.
Gotta love that quick trigger, too. No hesitation whatsoever.
9 for Emily Cangelosi, the redshirt senior, in just her second start of the year. She only averages 6 points a game. Stretches the lead back out to 5. Madison Baxter will be in when play is dead. Here's Hall. Miss Everything is 1 for 8 in this game. That three is no good and rebounded by Aisha Brown. And here's Makabuhai trying to go coast to coast, had it stripped, and it was last touched by UC Davis. Another break in the action, 3:13 to go in a swift moving third quarter. Tritons with a 5-point lead over UC Davis. Davis is the 5-time defending Big West regular season champs. They beat the Tritons in Davis last year in what was UC San Diego's first year in Division I and in the Big West by 18-12. That was in their 2 meetings last year, and now the Tritons have never trailed in the game, lead it by 5 with 3:12 to go in the third quarter, and have led by as many as 11 in the early going. See if the Tritons have just enough to break this long losing streak against Davis. What is it, 6 in a row, 7 in a row?
7 straight.
7 straight, dating back to the Division II days. Great crossover by Makabuhai, but she's being harassed by Conrad. Somehow found a shot and banked it off the window.
Man, that's Julia just doing Makabuhai things right there. It's tough to stay on her as a one-on-one defender.
Been on the floor for 9 minutes now, has about 11 to go. So I like that. That could take us right to the final horn. And Sierra Hall with just her second made field goal of the game. You can see the frustration right there as that one went down. She was just excited to get a little confidence back. That's all it takes for a shooter, right? See a shot go down, and then you can catch fire. Baxter missed on the other end.
If you're the Aggies, that's exactly what you want to see. Tritons the opposite. Hall a heat check there.
Yeah. Makabuhai to Baxter. Pulls the trigger on a three, and it's good.
That's really a 6-point turnaround if you think about it. The quick trigger by Hall, and then Baxter with the answer.
Baxter really has a feel for shooting the three in this building. Had a couple of threes the other night against Riverside in the opener. And that shot missed out of the hands of Stobart. They're doing a better job in the second half on Stobart defensively.
They are, and the last 2 trips down now for the Aggies forced shots early in the shot clock.
Madison Baxter, by my count, at home the last 3 games, is like 8 for 12 from beyond the arc. Conrad trying to punch that one away and gets the great steal. Wow, what a steal by Conrad.
That was. Julia just took her eyes off her for a moment, and the ball was knocked out.
That's all it takes some time. To the hole goes Hall, and she'll get a chance to earn them the hard way at the free throw line.
Well, we've talked about the three-point prowess of this Aggie squad, and here's an unbelievable statistic for you. Including today's game, they've now hit at least 1 3-pointer in 552 consecutive games. That dates back to February 15th, 2003, when they were a Division II squad at Cal State San Bernardino.
I remember the UNLV men. I wonder if they still have that streak going. That was like the longest, and every time you'd go in there to do an ESPN game or any game, that's the first thing that would be on their game notes. Brown rebounds the missed free throw.
And threes obviously are way more common now than they were back then.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't really need to shoot them in the some of those years when they had Larry Johnson and all those talented guys.
Stacey Ogman,
Yep.
Greg Anthony.
That one punched out of there and a turnover by the Tritons. And a run out, Sierra Hall. All of a sudden, Hall getting hot. It's a 4-point game, final minute of the 3rd quarter. Again, Davis has never led in the game. The Tritons have had a lead for over 27 minutes.
You see Davis clamping down defensively now.
Chamberlain into Mullings, and a foul on Stobart, trying to hold her ground on the low post. Just bumped Mullings with a body.
Yeah, her issue there, holding her ground would have been fine, but she took a step into the body of Mullings, and that's where she got called for the foul.
First personal on Stobart. The inbound is denied, knocked out of bounds by Shine.
We've seen Shine do that a couple of times now on the inbound. Good active hands.
Again, Davis without Sydney Burns, their starting point guard. Michaela Sanders off the bench. Did get Stobart back, who had a terrific first half. Claros drives on Stobart. Kick out. Sydney Brown puts it up. Missed it off the back of the rim and rebounded by Stobart.
Wasn't a bad look there again for the Tritons.
Less than a second, the difference between the shot clock and the game clock here. So really, Davis can hold this thing. Now they've actually turned the shot clock off.
Baxter back on Sierra Hall. Let's see if they get matched up here.
Davis can play for the final shot and a little momentum going to the 4th quarter. High post to Hall. Hall against Baxter, and a foul will be called. Wow, they're going to get Baxter, even though Hall looked to push off a little bit on that arm.
Yeah, that seemed like a play on to me.
And the second foul on Madison. 4.4 to go. At least they'll have to inbound now, and they get it into Hall. Hall, and she's fouled again, this time by Ula Chamberlain with 1.9 to go.
Well, they went man-to-man that time. Baxter actually switched off, and so Ula Chamberlain, who's also a good defender.
Second on Ula. They'll sub in Campbell Gray here and get out Bree Shine. Inbound by Campbell Gray with 1.4 to go. Bounces it into Conrad, who tried to keep it from going out of bounds. Great defense. No shot there at the very end for Davis.
With fire when you try to guard her one-on-one, and look at her leave Conrad, a pretty good defender, in the dust and then finish.
Makabuhai off the bench, 4 points in 11 minutes. She's got about 9 minutes to go, or 90% of this final quarter here in which to be on the floor.
Interesting stat for the Aggies. They've shot exactly 8 threes in every quarter. 3 of 8 the last 2.
And that time a good take there by Conrad. They're saying, all right, we don't need a 3 to begin the 4th quarter here. We'll take the safe 2, and it's a 2-point game. Again, Davis has never led in the game. Tritons have led for 28 and a half minutes. Got out to a 12-1 advantage in the early going. Chamberlain trying to get it inside to Mullings. and a turnover. And on the run out, this game is tied. Sage Stobart, 44 apiece, and roaring from all the way back from down 11 was UC Davis. It took a while, but they've got this East have drawn even, and that was our last media break, by the way, of this game. So if anybody wants to stop it, they're going to have to use their timeouts. The Tritons will have 2 left. Davis will have 3. First time we've been tied. Davis has never led in this game. Chamberlain drives baseline on Gray. Back out Sydney Brown. Brown on Hall. Gets a shot up and in. Just right of the lane.
Desperately needed there. Davis has stepped up their defense. And the Tritons able to get their first points of the fourth.
8 for Sydney Brown to go along with 10 rebounds. So she's 2 points away from a double-double. Back to a 2-point advantage for the Tritons. They led by as many as 11 at 12-1 in the first 6.5 minutes in. Gray against Chamberlain, puts it up, missed it, rebounded by Aisha Brown.
Chamberlain, some more good defense.
5 rebounds for Aisha Brown coming off that double-double. She has 5 points, 5 boards in 14 minutes, playing with the 2 personals. No real foul trouble for the Tritons. Chamberlain up and under. Oh, worked on that in Ogden, Utah, huh?
Yeah, no question. She set her up for that one.
What a game and what a homestand Chamberlain is having. Lead back out to 4. 8 minutes to go. Conrad with it on the wing. Back-to-back games, 9 points for Ula Chamberlain. Foul on Cangelosi. There you see the Weber State transfer. Again, unfortunately, we lost the other transfer. Alex Obu-Fige no longer at the school. And big loss. She led the team in rebounding. There's the particulars on Ula Chamberlain.
Yeah, anytime you can get close to, if not double figures off the bench, getting some good production.
Only averaged 4 points per game prior to this homestand. That'll go up now. Conrad with a tough shot and rebounded by Aisha Brown for her 6th board of the game.
See if they can get Aisha Brown going here in this final quarter.
Chamberlain off the dribble. Stops and pops, misses, and let's see who touched it last. It's going off of Aisha Brown, so it'll be Davis basketball. They also happen to have, well, no, the Tritons have the possession arrow now.
Well, the Tritons at one point had an advantage in the turnover battle, outscoring UC Davis 5-0. Davis has outscored them 10-0 since then in the second half.
Conrad to Sierra Hall, and she took a shot from behind by Brown. No call, but Hall gets the bucket. 2-point game again.
Got to not let her catch that ball so deep in the paint.
Well, that was quick. Remember when she was 1 for 8 to start? She's now 4 for 12, which means what? She's made her last 3 or 4 shots. 10 points for Hall. Starting to come alive when it matters. One possession game inside of 7 to go.
Usually see that with really good scorers.
Oh, Cangelosi inside to a wide open Aisha Brown, and she missed the chippy.
Yeah, I think that was just Stobart being in her head a little bit.
Hall into Stobart, and it got blocked from behind and picked up by Aisha Brown.
Sydney Brown with the block.
Yeah, what a good time for your first block of the game for the Tritons. Cangelosi, a 3, it's good. Rattles it home.
Yeah, that looked good coming out of the hand, and what a huge 3. Put him up by 5.
Cangelosi with 12. Cangelosi's made 4 of 7 threes. It's a different hero every game. Into Hall, posting up. Good, tough shot. That's a size advantage there on Cangelosi, and uses it to her advantage.
Well, the Aggies have been outstanding. That's 15 assists now on 18 field goals.
Hall right at her average of 12 points per game. Inside of 6 minutes to go, it's a 3-point game. Trying to make it a 6-point game. Chamberlain missed. Claros trying to get the offensive rebound. In the corner, she touched it last. Davis basketball.
That was good hustle by Conrad, chasing that down and knocking it off of Claros. And now the Tritons will get some fresh bodies in there. Baxter and Makabuhai in, hoping to get a shot of some offense.
You had that hypothesis about taken 8 threes per quarter for Davis, right? And they have yet to attempt a three-point shot here in this quarter.
Yeah, I felt if they went 3 for 8 again, that the Tritons would win this game.
They go inside to Hall. They're making a concerted effort, and that time she draws a foul, and we'll have a chance here at the free throw line.
I'd like to see that one again. That seemed pretty ticky-tack for how this game has been officiated most of the way.
Sydney Brown the foul. That's her third. Team foul number 2.
This is a really good free throw shooting team as a whole, 70%. Here's another look at the foul on Brown. I mean, if anything, that was offensive. And we've seen Hall get away with that elbow a couple of times here. She missed the second one.
Yeah, Hall has had 2 trips to the free throw line tonight where she's been 1 of 2.
By the way, you're welcome. I just jinxed the free throw again.
There you go. Makabuhai drives in. Makabuhai can't get it to go. She's missed a number of those shots here on this homestand. Here's Hall in transition. Conrad, corner. They have not attempted a 3 until right now in this quarter. Conrad missed, and it's rebounded by Aisha Brown.
5 minutes to go. Tritons, they can start getting them to match bucket for bucket. They'll be in good shape.
That was the 9th rebound by Aisha Brown. She gets them right in bunches. She had that third quarter where she had 9 of them on Thursday night. She had a big fourth quarter rebounding here. 6 to shoot. I'm not sure Aisha knows about that. To Cangelosi. 3 to shoot. Back out Makabuhai. Lets it fly. Missed it. Rebounded on the offensive glass by Sydney Brown. And then she gets fouled from behind.
Oh, man, that was fantastic. Over 2 players continuing to harass her, and she finally draws the foul.
Oh, that was something else. 11 rebounds, and the 11th rebound is the hardest one to corral.
Yeah, you see that long 3, so even though she was boxed out, she was able to chase it down.
And Sydney Brown through 2 defenders. Got a double-double with 10 and 11. And extends the lead to 4 with 4:20 to go.
Take a possession away from the Aggies and turn it into a deuce.
Well, even if they don't get it done, it would be a shame if they don't beat Davis here because they've led so long. What an effort by the Triton women. Claros will come in when play is dead. Conrad fell down, and then there's going to be a foul in the low post because once she got up, Baxter tried to shove her down a second time.
Well, the first time she pulled the chair out from under her. The second time got a little too aggressive.
Third on Madison Baxter. Team foul number 3. No shots yet here for Davis. 4:05 to go, a 4-point lead. Can they close the door? They've led for 33 minutes and 54 seconds. Davis has never led in the game. We've been tied 1 time. Here's Hall. Hall with a little jab step, drives into the paint, and a reaching foul. They're going to get Cangelosi here for reaching in. No, they'll get Sydney Brown instead.
You and I both know that if you're going to knock off a champion, you've got to play all 40 minutes to knock them down. They're not going to just fold and let you run away with it.
So now they're starting to get the Tritons in team foul trouble here with 3:53 to go. Sydney Brown comes off having committed her 4th foul. She's got a double-double, 10 points, 11 rebounds. Inside it goes to Hall, and Hall lets the easy one go from just outside the restricted arc and scores. 53-51. Sierra Hall has 15. What a big second half for Sierra Hall. And there's a foul. Sierra Hall was 1 of 7 in the first half for 2 points. She has 13 second half points.
Mazalon Harris, they call her Mozzie, called for the foul there.
53-51, 3:34 to go on this Saturday afternoon. Can the Tritons get to 2-0 in Big West Conference play? And there's a foul.
2 quick ones on Harris.
Yep. Freshman from Cathedral Catholic High School right up the road.
Basketball player, track and field as well.
Either the Toreros, Aztecs, or Tritons could get her services out of Cathedral. She's chasing Cangelosi with fresh legs. Chamberlain has it now. Looking for Cangelosi.
Davis defense is really good this time down.
Cangelosi, the leading scorer with 12. She's made 4 threes, and Ula Chamberlain came up short. Chance to tie for the second time. Hall being harassed. A 3 would give them their first lead of the game, and it would come with under 3 minutes to go.
I think everybody needed a little breather there. They just take a few seconds.
For their first lead of the game, it's no good. Rebounded on the offensive glass by the Cathedral Catholic Don, and then she gets fouled. Oh, my. Mazatlan Harris. That's going to be team foul number 5, and so to the line goes Davis for 2 shots.
Now the key there, Harris getting the ball and no hesitation, just going right back up to draw that foul. Now Sydney Brown going to come in with those 4 fouls with 2:49 left. No reason to rest her now. Need her production.
Chamberlain and Claros go out. And here is Harris, the San Diegan, at the free throw line. It's a 1-point game.
It's her first free throw made of the year now, 1 for 3.
Talk about being clutch. Her first points of the game, and she misses, so the Tritons continue to lead.
Aisha Brown almost tried to steal it away from Sydney.
And Aisha Brown sitting on 9 rebounds. Big possession. Makabuhai, screen set by Sydney Brown. Sydney drives, and Cangelosi keeps it from becoming a turnover. 5 to shoot. Makabuhai got the screen high. Makabuhai, crossover dribble, fires up the 3 and missed it with 1 to go on the shot clock.
Oh, man, how many times have we seen her sink that one, including earlier in this game?
Coming up on 2 minutes to go. Again, Davis has never led in the basketball game, but they can take their first lead of the game here. Just outside of 2 minutes to go. Conrad drives. Conrad off the window. Too hard.
Man, Baxter with great defense again.
She might be the MVP, the unsung hero. Inside of 2 to go. The Tritons with a 1-point lead.
Tritons have not scored in the last 2.5 minutes. Now would be a great time.
Tritons have the possession arrow too, should we get a tie-up. You're right, coming up on a 3-minute scoring drought. And Sydney Brown makes it from the elbow right. That gives them a little breathing room. Still a 1-possession game, but a 3-point game. And again, in this quarter, Davis has not made a 3. They've attempted 2 threes. Here's Hall. 13 second-half points. On the drive goes Evan Turner. That's knocked out of bounds, and it's going to stay with Davis. 11 to go on the shot clock.
The defense between both of these squads in the fourth quarter has been fantastic.
Again, the Tritons have led for 36 minutes and 23 seconds. Davis has never led. Feed the post. There's Sierra Hall. Kick out for the tie. Conrad, nope. Clanged it. Rebound. Makabuhai, and a foul. They're going to get Hall on the foul. 1:04 to go. That'll be the 4th team foul on Davis.
You know, Madison Baxter's defense has been so good that we didn't even notice that she's also scored 8 points off the bench.
Yep.
I mean, the offense has been part of it, but the defense has been just incredible.
Again, this is the 5-time defending regular season champs that the Tritons are trying to wipe out here and send to 0-2 in conference play. Still some work to do here. A bucket would go a long way to get at least my heart rate down. I'm not sure about yours.
That's up there.
15 to shoot. 47 seconds to go on the game clock.
Makabuhai, oh, wait. Yeah, there we go. So 10 seconds on the clock.
7 to go. Sydney Brown drives in, and it's blocked by Stobart with 4 to go on the shot clock. 38 seconds to go on the game clock, and they'll get a chance to inbound it.
Oh, did they call a foul? I think if they called a foul, she's going to the line.
Oh my goodness! I thought that was a block. To be honest with you, yep, they are calling a foul. Beg your pardon. Second on Stobart, her second. So here's Brown to the free throw line.
Just their 3rd and 4th free throws of the game.
And a big miss. Now make one here, and it's a 2-possession game. 38 seconds to go, but you got to make this one. Sydney, a double-double, 12 points, 12 rebounds. There you have it. She sticks the most important free throw to date for the Triton women, who come in at 4 and 6. 1-0 in the conference. Wouldn't this be something?
What a game. What a great game this is.
What Riverside and like Cal Lutheran has been able to do. Maybe it's just a City of Riverside type thing, right? They got the memo from City Hall. When you play at REMAC Arena, you got to press. All right, 2 timeouts apiece. 38 seconds to go. Difference between the shot clock and the game clock is 8 seconds. 4-point lead. Tritons have never trailed. We've been tied only one time. Here's a 3 by Hall. No. Big rebound there by Sydney Brown. The possession arrow points towards the Tritons. Just about to say that, so the Tritons will get it, which means Davis is going to have to foul here on the inbound.
Well, and Sydney Brown's asking, what do I have to do to, obviously.
Yeah, the best free throw shooter, by the way, for the Tritons with the biggest body of work is Aisha Brown at 89.5%. Ula Chamberlain's really good, too, at 87.5%.
And don't forget Aisha Brown, who made 10 of 10 Thursday night.
Tritons call the timeout after getting the possession arrow so they could advance it into the front court. Smart move, right? So you don't risk a quick little turnover in a bucket to make it a one-possession game. So foul, and here comes Makabuhai to the free throw line for the first time tonight.
And though she's only been there 3 times this season, we know she is a clutch free throw shooter.
Yep, perfect 3 for 3 on the year. Perfect 4 for 4 on the year.
And regardless of what she does here, it remains a 2-possession game. Of course, you'd prefer to have the 6-point advantage.
Okay, no Sydney Burns for Davis. Missed free throw and a quick timeout for Davis. They'll spend one of the 2 that they have remaining. 22 seconds to go. So still a 2-possession game. 5
line, especially in a possible and one situation.
Yeah, they're a 70% free throw shooting team. Davis.
Baxter going to guard the inbounder, that's Hall, and then watch out for Hall to get the ball right back.
Yep, off the timeout. Davis got to go quick. They advance into the front court, and a quick foul. Madison Baxter as Hall goes right past her.
And actually, she was guarding Conrad and then on Hall after the inbound.
19 seconds to go. I'm not sure you like to put your opponent at the free throw line with the clock stopped here late.
No, definitely not.
Hall has 16 now. Three-point game as she makes both. And the Tritons will spend the timeout to advance the ball into the front court, but it'll be their last one so that they don't have to face any pressure here.
Well, and you do have the option. Of course, you like getting the ball in the hands of Makabuhai if you can, just because of her quickness. You saw she was able to play a little bit of keep away the last time they got the ball to her, take a few seconds off the clock.
They're trying to take away that pass into the backcourt. Cangelosi's got to hurry to get it in, surveying the floor, gets it into Makabuhai, who's going to try and run away from as many Davis defenders as she can until Evan Turner tracks her down.
And she took another 3.5 seconds off there.
Yep, and then you have Makabuhai, who's missed her first free throw of the season last time. 58-54. That makes it a 2-possession game here with 15.5 to go. Davis has one more timeout that they can spend here to move it up into the forecourt. She got them both. That's huge. 5-point game here with 15.5 to go.
And Heidi Vanderveer playing some offense.
Maybe a chance to run off a little win streak, but they might be looking at an 0-2 hole, and the Tritons might be 2-0 for the moment, tied for the top spot in the Big West Conference with Long Beach State, who came in at 2-0.
Baxter again going to guard Conrad.
Here's Hall, got to go quick. Little jab step and a quick foul by Cangelosi. Man.
You know, I think and a lot of that is Hall. She's just good at drawing those fouls. Cangelosi stayed in front of her, and Hall just forced that.
This is what you like, a player like Hall that can get you to the free throw line at the end of the game here. Conserved a lot of time. Only 3.1 went off the clock. Hall makes the first. Still a 2-possession game. Got to make this one to make it a 1-possession game. Then you can get that press going against UC San Diego, right? Both teams are out of timeouts. And now you put pressure on the Tritons to get this ball in. Substitution, Bria Shine comes in.
Cangelosi can run the baseline here, and the official reminding her of that.
Harris, and so they're going to pick it up full court, something that has really baffled the Tritons at times this year. No timeouts, and into Cangelosi. A tie-up, and guess who gets it? Davis. Oh, my goodness. They have the possession arrow. They get it back here with 10.8 to go, and a 3 can tie this thing up.
Oh, boy. If they inbound that ball above the three-point line, I'd foul right away.
Yeah, without question. And I think that's what Heidi's saying, right? Beyond the perimeter foul. Here's Hall. Hall, they get it now to Shine. Back to Shine.
Fowler.
Oh, and here's a steal by Makabuhai. That's going to do it. And the Tritons knock off the 5-time defending Big West regular season champs.
Wow, what a performance.
Oh, what a huge steal by